Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, to the grand finals of the SEA League. This one is a best out of 5. It's Orange versus Zenith, the two undisputed kings of Southeast Asian Dota right now, two of the premier teams in the world. It should be an exciting match, and Mushi has been going for the mag every game. He's been doing the drafting for Orange. He won't get the solo mid mag, it's already banned. I'm LD. I'm joined here today by none other than Cinderin, making his first ever appearance on Beyond the Summit. Cinderin, thanks for coming to cast.
Thanks for having me. I'm really looking forward to this. Like you just said, it's the first time I'll be commentating at Beyond the Summit. Asian Dota isn't exactly my specialty, but I will try my best to explain what's going on, of course, together with you. So yeah, I'm really much looking forward to this. And the draft is obviously already running. I don't think it comes as any big surprise to many of the viewers that these two teams are in the grand finals. I guess they were the two favorites if you had to pick two. So yeah, that's the expectable grand final. And correct me if I'm wrong, but there's no winner's bracket advantage of any sort, because there was no loser bracket, was there?
It's single elimination, that's right.
Single elimination,
so,
yeah, exactly.
It will be a straight best of 5, no advantage.
Yep. Yes.
Also worth mentioning, this is the new Orange with the additions of Net and Ohio, but Ohio has not played for them once this tournament. And again today, Kachik Imba, which basically stands, he's a really small guy apparently, he's only 17, so it basically means really powerful little dude. That's what Winter said it more or less means. So he's the stand-in. He's been playing the one role, which is put Mushi mid, which might not sound like a surprise to you, but actually when Orange first made the switch, Ohio was going mid. Mushi was playing that safe lane carry every game. So I gotta say, I don't really feel that it's Mushi's strongest suit. Not the mid role, but the heroes he's been playing. It's been initiators, heroes who don't get the most of the farm like Mag, but well, we're not going to see the Mag this game, so interesting to see what they're going to do.
Yeah, I've got to say, I saw a couple of the matches yesterday, and Mushi's Magnus in particular was not really, I felt like, up to par with what he plays on the carry hero, so I've got to agree with you on that. But I guess they know what they're doing. It might have something to do with, well, the role distribution is always about what's the best at the end of the day for your team, and if he plays the hard carry, but who was it, KKEE? How did you say that?
Or just Kachik Imba, but you could just call him KK.
Kachik Imba, okay, yeah. If he's less comfortable in mid than Mushi, this might be a better solution. So you've got to say they're doing whatever is best for their lineup, and
of course.
And yeah, he's been having some good moves and some less good moves on his Magnus, but yeah, like you say, we're not going to have that this game. I'm not sure if you ran over the bans, but they're pretty standard. Like you said, the Magnus was banned, Darkseer, Batrider, and Nyx, and the first pick Lone Druid is not that surprising, but then again, it's also generally not the very, very first pick. We often see it as the second or third. And that's because a hero like Keeper of the Light is actually completely ignored in this first phase by both teams, although it's been having great success in China and the European scene for that matter. So
yeah, it's been popular in Southeast Asia too. The Lone Druid first pick, if this was G League, wouldn't be surprising, but I mean, in Southeast Asia, it is a bit. Then again, it's Zenith, and Zenith loves to put run multiple carries, basically. We'll likely see Ice playing that in the off lane. We don't know what XY is going to take towards the mid lane. I don't think we're going to see X Freedom's Tinker, unfortunately, which is always something to look forward to. And actually, it's Zenith who bans the Shadow Fiend. Interesting. Oh, and I forgot to hype this matchup properly. Yamate now plays for Orange, so it's a Mushi versus Yamate, or not plays for Zenith, excuse me. So it's a Mushi versus Yamate grudge match, and there's some bad blood between these two. There's actually an interesting little webcam segment at the Flash Dota 2 League where Yamate was asked why he doesn't play with Mushi anymore, and Yamate said he's too fucking pro, kind of sarcastically. So they don't really see eye to eye. They're not playing together. There's some blood to be spilt here, and it's any team that's Yamate, it's always going to be a little strange to see them ban Shadow Fiend, but there is Mushi on the enemy team.
Yeah, and I mean, I think I might be wrong on this, but I think we've seen Ohio playing Shadow Fiend once or twice as well as Tinker, but they're going to ban that. And you've got to let me in on this a little bit, because we've got 3 players for Orange with 1 letter each, and I'm not sure who is who, actually.
We have X is Extinct, Kachik Imba is KKEE, K is KYXY, and then T is Net. It's okay if you mix them up, because Zenith is even more confusing. Ice is actually X Freedom, he's doing the draft. Ice with the bar, as opposed to the letter I, is actually Ice. And then Ice is Ice, I believe. So just maximum trolling. NWP is Yamate. So if you mix the names up, guys, have mercy on them. Even I don't know the names. They've been using these confusing ones as much as possible. I asked them to change, and they refused. They said it would like disrupt their karma, or they have bad mojo or something. It's gonna be Mushi Quap.
Zenith's turn to pick.
Okay, so did I just say something really stupid claiming that Ohio was in this game? Because then I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I don't know if you said that he was in this game, but yeah, he's not. They're using the stand-in. So.
Okay, yeah, I like I said, I'm a little bit confused with that. So sorry, I'm spreading some misinformation here. Right, Ohio is not in. I've been really impressed by that guy, so I was expecting him to be on one of these teams for some reason. But what's he playing for then? I forgot.
No, he is playing for Orange. I believe he's family obligations or something like that, and so he's been spending time with his family. He's been away from Dota basically for the past week.
So that's why Kachi Imba is playing.
Yeah, that's the official story anyway.
But, all right, now it makes sense. Thank you. All right, perhaps I wasn't the only one confused by that. If I was, then yeah,
probably not.
Shit happened. Anyway.
So Zenith, they picked
anyway,
what do you think about this draft?
Yeah, I mean the thing about Zenith's picks right now is it's interesting to see in this Southeast Asian scene how highly they rate the Sand King, and I feel like it's picked so highly because all of the teams seem to favor it. It's not because it's a top pick in that sense, at least not in my opinion, but they pick it not only for themselves but also to disallow the enemies from getting it. And what Zenith have gone for here is a very powerful double carry strategy with Lifestealer and Lone Druid, probably putting the Lone Druid on the off lane to cause some chaos there and confuse and annoy the supports with pulling with Bear, etc., while Lifestealer farms the easy lane. And then finally an Invoker pickup, a hero I think we see way too little from them. Well, not from them, from everyone. He gets picked very little compared to what he used to.
Yeah, especially for Zenith, because they've got Ice. I actually don't know if he's going to be playing the Invoker. Normally, I'd say he's in that offlane role right now for them, or at least getting one of the side lane solos, basically. But it could be potentially a Yamate Invoker, actually. I'm kind of interested to see who's going to play it for them. And I like Zenith's draft because they have Lifestealer and Lone Druid, which are two of the best heroes to deal with Luna, whether it's Magic Immunity or just the Bear to tank Eclipse damage. So I think for Zenith, this is a pretty smart draft.
And then the other side of the board for Orange, we've got two very strong Intel supports. I'm going to assume the Leshrac will be played as support. He's not that often played as a core anymore, but they could try it. But they're going to play that Rubik Leshrac, and perhaps they want to try to actually go aggressive tri-lane here, because Zenith has a tri-lane consisting of two melee heroes, both Sand King and Lifestealer, and they might have a shot at putting some pressure on them. But with the last pick, Enigma, it might even... Nah, it's probably just an offlane Enigma, and then they'll be doing double support Rubik Lesh. That would be the reasonable choice here, I guess.
Yeah, it doesn't see... They don't really have a good draft to go aggressive tri-lane, because Luna's just so squishy, especially against Lifestealer, so... I guess the other possibility could be... Yeah, Mushi never goes offlane, so some teams, maybe they'd send Quap offlane in some situations, but this doesn't look like one of them.
It's more likely that he's going mid with Queen of Pain. First of all, because we've seen him playing mid, and I think this is actually one of Mushi's best mid heroes, because it's one that has more of a carry potential than the initiation, and I believe he played Queen of Pain a couple of times at the International too as well. I might be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Because, yeah, I think Orange at that point liked to run a lineup without an actual hard carry. They would farm a Windrunner and a Queen of Pain and aim for that mid-game push with Chen. And he's still got that in him. This time getting Enigma, though, instead of Chen. But I think the Enigma will be running jungle instead of offlane. They'll just realize this offlane is going to be impossible. Might as well farm the jungle and farm our two supports with pulling. So they'll probably get an XP advantage from this, unless if the Lone Druid goes to the jungle as well. And, yeah, we're going to have to see about that. And it's XY on the Invoker. Yamate will be playing the Lifestealer.
Yeah, he has been playing the safe lane farmer, so it does make sense. But whenever you have a team with Yamate, you got to think, maybe he'll play the Lifestealer, or the Invoker, but we won't see it this game. So quickly, I'll do Zenith, since they're even more painful to introduce than Orange because of these troll names. We do have Ice on the Sand King, Yamate playing the Lifestealer. We have X Freedom on the support Shadow Demon. So very strong killing tri-lane. Like you said, they're just going to abandon it. XY going solo mid as Invoker. Has not selected an orb yet, but has a lot of plus damage. Good for that early null talisman, which is generally a sign that he's going Quas Wex to compensate for the low damage and the damage nerf he got recently. And Ice going offlane. And we should keep an eye on his Bear, because the last time we cast his offlane Lone Druid, he was still doing the creep skipping pulling at like 20 minutes into the game. So very active micro player is Ice.
And then I'm being told that I might be a little bit too loud, so I'll turn myself down right after this. But yeah, I'll quickly introduce Orange as well. Like said, Mushi will be playing mid with the Queen of Pain. We've just got a Deny in the mid coming out from Enigma, which will be played by K, who was...
KYXY.
KYXY. And we've got Kaichi Imba on the Luna, the hard carry as expected. Extinct will be playing the support Leshrac. And finally, who did I miss? I missed the Rubik, played by
Nets.
T. Net. Why are they doing this to us? Yeah, alright. Let me try to turn down my mic. Yeah. All right, there we go. This should be a lot better now. Hopefully it stays this way. I turn it down.
You sound good to me, but I guess it's just in-game where there's maybe a bit of
yeah, it might be good now.
So we're going to see a Queen of Pain mid versus a Quaswex Invoker. I mean, generally people tend to give the edge to Queen of Pain in this matchup, especially with the damage nerf to Invoker, but we'll have to see if Mushi's able to exploit it. If any Queen of Pain could, you'd expect Mushi would be able to.
Yeah, the thing about this lane is, in the early levels, you'd expect Queen of Pain to win pretty hard because she has a 15 damage advantage already on this Invoker. Even with his damage item build, he falls short. If you go for the Ferrari build with the Claws of Attack, you'll have a little bit more damage than Invoker does now, but still very little. The thing is, when he starts leveling up the Quas to higher levels, he can withstand the harassment from Queen of Pain, and if he can manage to pick up phase boots, he can actually take back the lane.
Look at the bear. Oh, that's not something you want to feed. That's 100 gold and a decent chunk of experience. But he does mess up the creep equilibrium pretty badly at that. Look at this wave.
And it's also taking a lot of effort that they would have liked to invest into pulling, so the experience they get is not really as good as it could have been. But the bear, well, it still gives them some, and now it's bothering them again.
He's such a nuisance. We really need to call pest control whenever he's in the game. So Yamate getting free farm on the safe lane for Zenith. The trade-off, it's so weird to say for Zenith. And then we have Kachika by the standing getting the free farm in the top lane. It's going for what looks like the early Tranquil Boots, and they do have a good pushing tri-lane with Leshrac. Lone Druid can kind of mess with the creep aggro, but we could see them go for the early tier 1 here. Maybe not now, but well, with this wave, maybe they will. And Leshrac has taken Edict.
Yeah, he's very close to level 3 on Lesh. I think he would like to get that before using the Edict, but there's no experience point to be gained, unless if he gets this little Centaur up here, actually, which he will do. I think he's going to go for that. That should give him his level 3, and then, yeah, perhaps...
Oh, Mushi. Mushi could be in trouble mid.
Oh, yep.
Let's see what X-Freedom can do. He's waiting for that disruption. XY's going to get really close. He wants to make sure he can get off as many cold snaps as possible. There's the disruption, the illusions. Oh, the cold snap might wear off now. It does. Oh, that disruption almost... I think it might have just saved Mushi.
Yeah, a little bit of a misplay there. I think what Eyes, or who's that, X-Freedom?
X-Freedom.
Yeah. What he wanted to do was to prevent the blink, because it looked like the animation might come off. But with the cold snap on, if they hit with the right timing, it's actually impossible to blink in that scenario. So a little bit of a misplay, but they still put pressure, and most importantly for them, get Invoker some free last hits, because he is actually winning the lane, really?
Very impressive.
They don't really have good farm, either of them, but he's actually winning by a little margin.
He did have that one gank which helped him, but still, you'd expect, especially a Mushi Quap, to have the edge here. And I think it's really this early No Talisman build that helps out a lot. It gives you that critical plus damage, but also it's just great individual play by XY, because Invoker does not have the highest damage to compete with here like Queen Pain.
To put it mildly.
Yeah, we'll see.
Mushi
loves to go for multiple No Talismans, usually quite early, just to give him really the advantage in the lane, and he's like a very snowball.
Up top! Ice. Oh, they're gonna miss the stun here. They tried to go for the toss stun combo, but dodging it barely, and now Ice is actually putting... Ice, I should say. He's putting a lot of pressure on them.
Oh, that would have been a kill, especially even with just 1 point in Edict, and the bear tank. It should have been enough burst to bring him down. And now KYXY's ganking the bear. He's actually checking the rune, but... this bear is such a nuisance with it. So active around the map. And is he going to deny this top bird? No, it's spawn spotted. So how do you feel about the trade-offs right now? We're seeing Lifesteal get free farm. He's not rushing a Midas. Luna's getting free farm as well. Also not rushing anything too greedy. And Queen of Pain and Invoker, I'd say more or less even, but I guess a disadvantage for the Dire since they should be winning that lane. But they are getting a jungle Enigma who's pretty much free farm at this point.
Yeah, and that's the reason the Dire are holding on to this, because I feel that if this Enigma was bottom, they would actually be losing out pretty hard. But they're ahead on the gold. Pretty much can be attributed to the Enigma farming well in the jungle, but the experience still in the Radiant's favor. But if you... It's about 0 at this point. Now you can just admit, this is what I was talking about. He's got 3 points in Quas on XY now, so he can take these trade-offs with Queen of Pain, knowing that he's going to out-regen her very fast. And once he picks up the phase boots, he's going to dominate the Queen, actually. And that's going to be a problem, because you don't put Queen of Pain mid to lose. You put it there to own the lane. And well, if XY is already winning, this is going to be really bad for Mushi and about 500 gold on the Invoker.
He's getting very close to those phase boots. The other thing that's really interesting to note is they're denying the runes a lot to Mushi, who actually jumps forward onto XY. XY is out of region currently. You'll notice that they gave him the Observer Wards. Just a small thing you could do so that your supports aren't wasting time placing them. They can be focused on stacking and on pulling, or just pushing in this case. But Mushi is... The runes are being denied to him, and that's one of the reasons I feel he's really struggling. The supports are checking the bottom rune. Ice is being a troll and checking the top rune. Or a nuisance, I should say, and checking the top rune with his bear.
Being a troll.
He is always being a troll, even when he's not technically trolling.
Yeah, that's a good way of putting it. But yeah, speaking of Ice, he's actually kind of in trouble here up top, because he just got his bear killed again, and that was right after resummon. So he has to wait 100 seconds now on getting his next bear. And the support's top, they're getting a lot of free experience and gold from killing off this bear, and that's kind of a concern for him right now, because Luna has level 6, and she can basically dive him alone if the creeps are gone. We might see it right now even. Kaichi is going to go from Ice. Is still staying alive with the fog here, but if Luna didn't have to worry about TPs, this was a first blood right now.
And she does have to be... Invoker actually doesn't have one, but the Sankey of the Shadow Demon, there is already one up on X Freedom. We do see a lot. We've seen a lot of like the, I guess, the more inexperienced Southeast Asian teams. One of the things we've noticed is, unlike Zenith or Orange, their supports not as efficient and always not as prepared. They don't know exactly where they need to be, but you can see X Freedom is fully prepared for any sort of dive top or mid, and he's already got that TP. And especially against the jungle Enigma, that's something you have to be worried about. He's level 6 now.
Yeah, and that's, in my opinion, the really big get-out-of-jail card that Orange might have up their sleeves in this one. If they can get a smoke gang running from the Enigma in the mid, that's what can give them the mid lane back for Mushi, who's actually now 7 CS and 7 denies behind, so he's losing out more and more against XY, and his face boots are coming in soon. He's warded the bottom rune as well, though, but... Well, the wards he's got now are covering mid, but that's also giving him a false feeling of safety, because if Enigma smokes, he has no idea that it's coming, and that's going to be a very easy kill with a dust.
Yeah, it all comes down to the Shadow Demon at that point. Can he get into the tower without being caught by the Black Hole and get off the disruption? Speaking of that Shadow Demon, he is really playing a hard support. He wants Sand King to get the Arcane Boots, so he's been buying all the wards, and that Sand King is getting close. So they're trading, basically both teams are trading, but the Tier 1 falls bottom first. And at what point does Enigma start getting active on the map? It looks like he's going to start pushing top now.
Yeah, and this is another thing they can obviously do with him. Going for the 4 points in Demonic Conversion means he only has 2 stuns on the Malefice instead of the three he could have had if he maxed that. But the summons are very strong, so more of a push than a gang-oriented build and farm-oriented build as well here coming out from KYXY. And, well, this top tower is not long for life, especially with the Luna Aura here for these 4 ranged heroes.
Yeah, this is kind of what we talked about, is you generally don't go, oh, Mushi mid lane might die. Actually, the Tornado clips him, 1 more auto attack is needed. He won't get it, though. XY really crushing this lane. Sure, he got the 1 gank, but to drive a Queen of Pain, and of all Queen of Pains, a Mushi Queen of Pain back, I mean, basically back to the base, although he's actually going to try and get this bottom rune. Seikei's going to be here.
Oh, this is trouble.
I don't think that he can kill him. If Mushi wastes the blade... Oh, no. Ice is just going to go.
He had the ward himself as well, so knows that Ice is there. And yeah, I think Mushi will have to go back to base. He's only level 6, and that's something that's worth pointing out. He's level 6.5. He'll Bottle Crow this time by the looks of it. Invoker is level 8. And that's without having a kill. It's just simply CS mid. Here we go, Tornado and Sand King stun stack, but it doesn't matter. Cold Snap over the top of that, and that's the first blood.
That was just greedy for Mushi.
Very cocky play.
He saw the
Invis. He knew the Invis
wasn't
wasn't Sand King.
Like you mentioned.
Yeah, exactly.
That's unfortunate. And with they only went for the Tier 1 top, which is rather surprising. What I was going to say is normally you see teams, when they go for that Tier 1, they want to get 2, because otherwise it just gives Lone Druid a safer region to farm. Now, they can try and do some pulls and get the lane back in equilibrium, but the supports aren't doing that. So it's giving Ice a lot of farm and a lot of levels that you normally wouldn't like to see. And they could have gone for 2. They have Luna, they have Enigma, and Edict. There's really nothing stopping them.
Yeah, and the more they pressure this top lane, the less space the supports have to contest the mid lane. It kind of opened up mid that they didn't have to defend top, and that's what gave the kill on Mushi there. If Sand King would have had to defend top, that kill mid wouldn't have happened. Here we go, though.
Oh, XY gets caught, and blinks Mushi. He does have the ultimate. He's not throwing it out just yet. There's the Soul Catcher. Actually hits KYXY, but he doesn't care. He's manning up. There's a Black Hole, but will actually get it off. The Burrow Strike comes in. KYXY, the mech is already out. 9.5 minutes in. That's such an early mech. Mushi jumps forward. KYXY, just by having that mech, wins them a nice little engagement mid. And you gotta wonder, when is Yamate gonna get active? It might be right now if he can get this open wounds off. Luna should be dead. He can rage to dodge anything that Luna can throw his way, but she's got Tranquil Boots and Drum. She actually used the Drum Charge, and Kachik Imba. Oh, if there's an infest, there's no creeps to infest into. Oh, she's actually gonna get away. Wow.
And that's the Tranquil Boots versus the Phase Boots of Lifestealer. The moment Phase Boots are running, he can catch up, but as soon as those Phase Boots are out, she's a lot faster than him and gets away. Mushi putting some pressure on Sand King here. Could be his death. He needs to be careful. Okay, he's got the blink. We'll get out.
So even though Mushi got that, I mean, he's just under so much pressure. It's like the recipe for Zenith is just don't let Mushi have fun. Make sure he's under pressure constantly, and although he got a little bit of a boost there, he's at 28 CS. I mean, how many times in there have we seen Mushi at, 5, 6 CS a minute while ganking and controlling all the runes on his Queen of Pain? He's not having that kind of start.
Yeah, and it's just really courtesy of good Invoker play here by XY, and personally I love seeing the Quaswex Invoker, of course. I think it's really forgotten at this point in Dota 2, but it's nice to see one of the more respected Asian teams picking it up and playing it as well. Here we go mid though, Mushi's gonna jump in on XY. There's also the Malefice here. Tornado is gonna buy him some time, however. Ghost Walk not gonna be popped.
Yikes. That was 3 heroes, but they can get that early tower because they have the mech, they have a point in Edict, and there's no glyph, so this is the one nice thing about Orange. They're not just getting kills, but this lineup can take towers when they pick up those kills. And Zenith are rather lacking in counter push. If we look at this lineup, it's just the Quaswex Invoker who can really do anything to stop pushes. Shadow Demon has 2 points in Shadow Poison. That's not enough. Lone Druid doesn't have a Radiant, so you got to be careful if you're Zenith. If you give up too many kills, how do you defend your towers?
And speaking of that, they actually managed to... Oh, wow, are we really going to get eyes here as well? Or X-Freedom? Yes, we are. Another kill for Orange. They're really moving around nicely on the lanes. Right before Rubik as well, own Druid, so he got put out in that, and then they get the Shadow Demon right after. So 2 kills top, a tower mid. And again, you've just got to say the Enigma, the choice of not putting Enigma bottom but jungling it has really paid off for them.
Yeah,
he's keeping up very nicely in farm, and the mech just had such a huge impact. And his high levels.
And he's up to 1,000 gold, and actually I'm looking at this lineup. There is no way to stop a black hole if he gets a BKB, aside from Entangle, which you really can't count on because the bear's got to be basically next to him. So an early BKB could be huge. A Blink Dagger could as well, because if they get a good black hole, I mean, look at the follow-up. It's a Queen of Pain ult, it's the Glaives bouncing through, it's potentially the Luna ult and Fade Bolt. They have the AoE to kill off the creeps. An early Blink or BKB, Orange may be able to 5-man, and I'm not really sure what Zenith can do about it.
Yeah, and the thing about BKB on Enigma is, this is often something that is a little bit misunderstood, is that the BKB is not necessarily only about getting the black hole off, it's about the position you get in the fight. Because when a BKB Enigma walks in, you have to move. If you have no counter to him. So even if he doesn't get the black hole off, he automatically gets the positional advantage in the fight for his team, just popping the BKB and walking in. It's something I think we saw quite a lot at the International too, also by, for example, Light of Heaven, who sometimes does get really good black holes. Other times he BKBs, runs in, Malefices someone, and the fight breaks out, and the enemy team can't go in and save the guy who gets stunned, because they know if they walk in, the black hole is there, and that's going to be really powerful for KYXY in this game.
And the funny thing is sometimes they don't even have black hole off cooldown. Maybe it's 10, 20 seconds away, and it's an intimidation BKB, and sometimes it works, even against pros.
Yeah, it's impossible to keep track of all these cooldowns in the game. You can try, but oh wow. Speaking of trying, this bottom lane could be in trouble now.
Look at Net. Such good positioning and awareness by him. Well, I say that, he'll probably get caught right now because they do have a mech. I'm actually surprised Net is not level 6. Normally something Orange is very good about is making sure their supports get levels, but rather underleveled. You compare that to Ice, he's level 8 already. Even X-Freedom, well, X-Freedom's quite low level, so they've traded basically Ice getting a lot.
Yeah. Got a lot of levels on the Sand King, and it has to pay off. He's got 1 assist so far, so he's been in their only kill, but if you get this many levels on the Sand King, it's kind of an investment that needs to pay off with some kills with a high-level Burrow Strike. We might see it right now if they try bottom, but yeah. Oh, KYXY is actually in a pretty bad position here.
Yeah, he's just lurking. He's running right over the sentry. They know he's there. They do have a slight bit of vision, and... Uh-oh, he's gonna even step up further. He's really played aggressively. I'm surprised they're not going yet. They must expect support smoke behind him. Now they're gonna wrap around. Here comes the trouble, the pain. He gets Burrow Strike. He could look to Black Hole if they don't infest to kill him off quickly. He Black Holes, but the epicenter has already been unleashed. He's actually living. Here comes Mushy. Big scream. What a turnaround. They just couldn't burst him down. The Lifestealer now on the run. That's a great secondary Burrow Strike. And now something stolen by the Rubik. It was actually Infest, which, well, now he's back to full health. There you go. So Yamate lives, but a great turnaround there. That early mech really paying dividends.
Yeah, good show up from Mushi here. Gets the 3-man Sonic Wave as well as a Scream of Pain. And it's what you were talking about earlier. If they hit that black hole, the follow-up they have is just ridiculous. And
there was no Luna there either.
Either.
And the Luna wasn't even there. You figure it's only got to be worse if she shows up, and after they get a kill, they're going to work on a tower. And you got to ask, where's the trades for Zenith? They're not really getting towers. XY getting close to his Force Staff, but I don't feel that's an item that's really going to turn this game for them.
Yamate really wants to have a crack at this. I don't think they can catch up. Might try a tornado.
Oh, he's got the armlet. He's trying to bait them into going on him, but he might be able to zap him down. He toggles the armlet on. Now the EMP Tutoria flies out. Mushi blinks away just in the nick of time. Rubik will be the casualty here, and Extinct gonna trot his way away. And how is Ice doing? He's sitting on 1,500 gold, nothing on the bear. Being denied a bit more than we've seen in past games, but he's always gonna find his farm. At this rate, we could see that relic around maybe that 19-20 minute mark or so.
Yeah, if they keep leaving him alone for a bit, he will catch up eventually. But this is a good play by the Orange support so far in locking that down. And you've got to say for Zenith, they seem a little bit unclear about how they want to initiate these fights, because I feel like the Cold Snap and the Shadow Demon Disruption have been stacked 3 times now.
Yeah,
and he even missed the tornado. It's a little bit ineffective killing. They did get the kill there, but that could have been better for them.
Yeah, we saw that first blood attempt mid just didn't work out because of it. And it ended up costing them in the end because they disrupted, when the chain stud could have disrupted the blink animation, but the actual spell disruption came out. Probably should have chosen a different ward there. And I'm interested to see that Mushi is actually going for an Orchid. He's got double road for the Magi up. And, I mean, what, is this just to kill the Invoker?
It's also a very good item against the Lifestealer, because obviously Lifestealer, such a big part of how he works is getting rage off, and Orchid has a very long duration in which you can't rage, so if you have a slow together with Orchid, it's actually better than having the Scythe of Vice against an Axe, and that might be Mushi's idea here, that they can lock him down. But obviously, like you say, great item against Invoker, great item against Sand King to disallow the combo. Speaking of Sand King, there's an Axe bomb inside him. X is not long for life now.
Yeah, no, they totally pushing Fest out. Bit of a, I feel not the best combo there, but now Net's Purge. Mushi is trying to bait a stun or two onto himself, I believe, but he's got to be careful not to get caught Burst Strike away by Net. Where is that Enigma? KOX was trying to arrive to the fight, but he's too late. He's got 2,300 gold. He could have his Blink. And maybe could have turned that fight with a big Blink Black Hole, because Kachik Emba does have a BKB and a TP. Just didn't go for the Blink. Maybe he just wants that BKB, but could have been a much different fight. That was a long way to chase.
Still got cooldown on the Black Hole, though, so yeah. He would have to wait 10 seconds. So yeah, it's such a long cooldown on these well, on all levels. It cuts down 10 seconds per level. So, but yeah, a 3-minute cooldown on the highest level. It's one of the highest cooldown levels. Cooldowns in the game.
Well, I think I just went up to you for messing up the player names by not noticing the Black Hole cooldowns. So there you go.
He got the Blink dagger though, so you got that right.
All right. Well, he has gone for the Blink, and I mean, can you just force a fight at Roche now if you're Orange? How does Zenith really contest that?
Yeah, that's a good point. It's very difficult for them. I think what Zenith needs to do if that happens is try to get the Lone Druid Bear in there, harass them a little bit, get a good entangle, and then perhaps Sand King can get an opening. But he's so far off his Blink Dagger right now, 1,400 gold to go for him, and that's kind of the big teamfight ability they need. Because, well, Invoker, he's Quas Wax. When you go for this kind of build, especially without a single point in Exort yet, so doesn't even have the Deafening Blast, then, I mean, his build is control more than its damage. And who deals the damage? Lone Druid, no Radiance. Lifestealer, well, he's got some good gold, but he's up against some big boys on the other side.
Yeah, if he gets entangled in a team fight, that's trouble. If he gets silenced, well, the Orchid's not out yet, but when it comes, that could be trouble. And you could always Black Hole him, so this is where you really... Oh, the tower just drops unopposed.
And Luna with the BKB, she's not going to be scared of anything right now. Like you pointed out earlier, there's no BKB counter on the Radiant, and that's the problem. They need the entangle on Kachi Imba, and they can't really rely on it. Ice is getting in position, but he doesn't have many choices where to stun in from here without a Blink Dagger. It's basically... He can Epi and try to stun in. Oh, if Kaichi actually is in position for this could work for Ice.
He's just lurking in the trees. You know he wants to go so bad. The tornado, not really the best. Can he force them in? He's going to start channeling now, but they're all running away. This Epicenter isn't going to work at all. He's just sitting there. He doesn't even burrow thing through until the very end. Now the BKB comes out on Kachikimba. Yamate on the way out. Ice forced the run. Big Black Hole catches 2. Should be enough with the follow-up to bring them down. Mushi out of mana for the ultimate. I think the EMP removed all of it, but they still get 2 kills. They get the Lifesteal and the Invoker, 2 of the cores for Zenith. I would like to see them go Roche, but can they actually go high ground now?
I think they can Rax this.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, there's no rebuy on Lifestealer, there's no rebuy on Invoker. They've got 30 seconds, and okay, there is a rebuy on Lifestealer now. And on Invoker. Well, we're good at the wrong calls this game, aren't we? But yeah, they forced the 2 rebuys. I mean, this is definitely worth not going Roshan for. They forced 2 rebuys, they still have the positional advantage. Roshan can come soon, if not even now.
Yeah, the only
That's
concern
so
is
much gold.
no black hole, no eclipse, and no BKBs, but...
Yeah, nice is causing trouble top. He might be in trouble, though, himself, if Rubik can catch up to this. Looks like Kachimba wants to get him. Oh, he is going to get out.
You cheeky little bugger, Ice Ice Ice. So hard to kill. And that Orchid's pretty much out for Mushi. Just another core item. And after such a bad start, you know, I really would figure if you shut down Mushi like that, and you're getting a lot of farm and trade, you'd be pretty good. But it comes back to that Enigma. KYXY got such a fast mech. And then good movement from the supports, and Orange got themselves right back into the game. And for the most part, very good movement from them in general and team decision-making since then.
Yeah, they've seemed to be one step ahead of the Zenith lineup, but it's also because on that side, the lone druid right now just can't really contribute that much, and it allows Orange to quite easily outnumber them in some scenarios, and they've really been taking advantage of that. The score might only be 8-5. If you
kind of losing you.
Look at the map control; they're ahead by 3 towers. They've got good warding. Oh, sorry. Am I better now?
You're a little robotic. Maybe I'll just give you a call back.
Denied.
Okay, I'm gonna call you back. So the tower. Well, no, that's just a creep being denied. All right. While we wait to get Synerin back on, Mushi has the Orchid up. Hey, Synerin.
All right. Hopefully, I'm better now. I think.
You sound a little distant, but hopefully your mic will kick in a second.
All right. Yeah. This should it should balance out in a moment. Sorry about that.
Haste run up on Mushi and the Orchid, and it looks like they're trying to bait him a little bit with net rotating down here, or maybe just placing wards. We'll see.
And am I clear again now?
Yeah, you seem a little bit better. Uh-oh. This is trouble top lane. This is going to be the death of Ice Ice Ice. Although he gets the entangle, there's no black hole. Can he TP out right now? Yeah, he's going to go for it. Ice Ice Ice, if you actually escape here. Mushi says, hell no. Blinks in. Leshrac actually gets the kill. Boy, he almost got away.
And the thing is, right now, Mushi has actually surpassed the farm of XY, and it's attributed both to his really good play, but also to the way Queen of Pain works as a hero. Just a quicker flash farmer. With the Scream of Pain, he can farm the jungle. Oh wow, this courier could be in trouble.
19 HP.
But yeah, he's going to catch up on farm eventually on this Invoker because, well, a Quaswex Invoker in particular, without those Forge Spirits, he just doesn't farm lanes and the woods that fast, and that's something Mushi can catch up to, and he's been part in 7 kills on his Queen. That's worth mentioning as well. After being held down, he's really been making up for it.
And they're just getting all the outer towers. The map control for Orange is so good right now. And of all things, the Lifestorm has actually gone for Reaver, and I feel like they really need that Abyssal to try and burst down the Queen of Pain or the Enigma while you're in Rage, but he's going tanky.
And it might be an investment for later on in which they just try to make a team calm. Yeah, okay, they're going to out. A team composition which can simply withstand this Wombo combo on the Dire side, because they realize they have no BKB counter, so they need to survive the combo. And how do you do that? Hard on Lifestealer and the Lone Druid Bear with Radiance. These 2 targets are very hard for the Dire to bring down, and will require 1 or 2 more damage items from Luna before they can really effectively do the damage they need.
Look at the advantage. Over 10k net worth, over 7.5 experience, but it does still feel like this is a game that Zenith could come back into. They have multiple cores. The Lone Druid, is he really going for a Relic? I guess he is, because he hasn't bought anything yet, and he's going to have it soon.
Be.
It's late, but Lone Druid will catch up if you give him enough time. And they're going Rosh right now.
Problem about the Radiance build when it comes this late is, well, if there are all those BKBs, it doesn't really have much of an effect as long as that's going on. So Tornado is going to try to spot them out here, but yeah, there's no way they can stop this. And that's almost Manta for the Luna at this point.
Even more push power, and this team already has a lot. Oh, okay, XY, he's kind of baiting around this rune. He will pick it up now. The one thing I'm a little surprised about, we have not seen a gem yet from the supports of Orange, and I really feel with their map control, they should have one. They could be setting up some kills with smoke ganks and limiting the farm of Zenith, who clearly want to take this late game.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, the supports on their side have lots of gold. You can see Extinct. This is luxury for a support Leshrac to have Arcane Boots, Ghost Scepter, and a point boost at 24 minutes. He could have invested into a gem. On the other hand, who was T again? Net. There we go. I'm learning it. Only has a Staff of Wizardry, so he's working on a 4-staff. The main support of the side, of course, has less gold, but yeah, you've got to be worried for Zenith right now. It's like a ticking clock. Lone Druid has to catch up. He will get the top tier 1 in the trade-off, but You just have the feeling that the Dire could be breaking the base very soon, and can they even stop it? There we go, Malefice!
There we go, the fight's gonna break out. XY is, oh, the Eclipse just gets him at the end there. Almost lived, it looked like. And they also almost have a BKB on Enigma. I don't even know if they need it. Ice is frantically trying to push top, but he's only threatening tier 2, whereas the mid lane, they're threatening Drax, they're threatening a tier 3. There is no glyph anymore, and this, with the level 4 Edict, this is gonna start dropping very quickly. Tower's down. How do you fight? You don't have your Cosmix Invoker. I think they're just losing this.
Yeah, the Invoker has rebuy ready. I think it's just a call from X Freedom on Zenith's side that we can't fight this. Give them the racks, keep your gold. There's no way we can defend. And well, the Invoker, he's got rebuy ready, he's got the gold, but they're not really ready to fight this. And to be fair, I don't think they could have held on to that either. So that's the first side of racks.
They still
and don't forget they did good damage bottom.
They still have the Aegis, and they have 4 minutes, so they may be able to go towards a second set of racks before this expires. And also, the BKB from Enigma is out now, so they have the double BKB on Luna and Enigma. The Queen of Pain's got the Orchid now going for Hex. I mean, what more do you really need? I guess you could wait for the second Roche just to play it really safe, but they're in great position right now.
Yeah, the point is as long as they're controlling the map and out-farming Zenith, there's no clock ticking for them, basically. But if they give Zenith the opportunity to come back on the map, the Lone Druid and Lifestealer could cost them some trouble later on. So either they should push in right now, or they should map control. Oh, nice Rage by Ned. It's like the perfect spell for him to have right now.
Such a troll. And it will wear off. They're going to Cold Snap. But oh, this looks like a bad fight. There's the Orchid for XY. He's thrown up in the air wall trying to force snap away, so he's going to drop now. Kachikimbo chasing forward. There is a black hole. There is a BKB. Can he get in range to catch a couple? He wants to. The creeps block him a little bit. Doesn't seem to matter. Ice is going to man up with the black hole. Catches everyone. Oh, disaster.
Perfect BKB ulti by KYXY.
So patient, too. I mean, there were a couple moments he could have at least caught 1 or 2, but he wanted the big black hole, and now this might be game.
It's always wonderful to see when the black hole comes at a time when one of your cores has like 10% HP and it just saves him. Mushi was almost dead there, and the black hole catches everyone. And that's almost got to be game. They're going to be 2 racks behind against this kind of lineup. They're not getting map control back at this point. It's really looking grim.
Well, the first punch in the Mushi vs Yamate showdown is going to be delivered by Orange. They're up 2 lanes of racks. They have the dire advantage. They have the superior farm. Hell, they didn't even use the Aegis on the Luna in that fight.
Yeah.
And they didn't have Eclipse there, and it just didn't matter. You got to figure this is their game.
Yeah, it's going to take some amazing play by Zenith and some big mistakes out of Orange at this point. That's how it always is when you have a 2 racks advantage like this, almost regardless of lineup. And it's not only a 2 racks advantage, might I add. They still have 4 outer towers themselves. They have complete map control right now, and yeah, the only thing missing is a gem, unless if they have finally picked that up, which it doesn't look like. The supportless rack, however, has Bloodstone and 1,500 gold to boot. I mean,
yeah, clearly more important than a gem.
This could be a core build if you have a bad game, but it's a support right here. And, well...
He's filthy fat. I mean,
it's got
seriously.
So much gold.
And Luna's up to 4.2k, so she'll have that butterfly most likely soon. And at that point, your illusions will just kill that 3rd lane of racks. Just sieging it with that. Leshrac can kind of sit back, chip away a little bit with Edict, and if you ever try to go in, Enigma's going to be there with the Blink BKB Black Hole, so it's very hard to defend this.
Black Hole is 85 on cooldown, but I think they might choose not even to wait for it, because...
This is...
Quite frankly speaking, I don't think they need it.
Yeah, well, we'll see if it goes back to haunt them, but that bear is just not going to do anything. That late Radiance...
He needs 50 seconds on it. If they know, that's probably the end of the game. Big mistake from Ice here. That's really... That's not what you want to happen when the final fight comes in. 50 seconds on the bear. It's like having a big ultimate on cooldown right now. And just see Kachikimbo is just finishing off this tower now.
And, I mean, he could have set it back to the Foul of the Hill, so he just thought, oh, I'll throw it in. And this is the downside to a really late Radiance, is when you're up against some physical damage, like Eidolons, like Luna are, you could just auto-attack the bear down. It's why... Generally, if you don't farm well early, you tend not to go Radiance, because it's just too easy to kill that bear. And they're just going to take this out of post.
Yeah, it's last chance for Zenith right now. They have to go. Pop the glyph.
Ice is going to man up. He's trying to bait some spells on himself, I feel. Here comes the Epicenter. Does basically... Oh, it might even kill Extinct because he was in Ghost form. He's dropping low, but there is a BKB Black Hole. No, not yet. 15 seconds still. It doesn't matter. Kachikimbo on a rampage. Didn't even use his BKB. Now he pops it. 3 heroes dead. GG. Zenith are going to get absolutely hammered in game 1. Mushi with the exclamation mark on this game. And Yamate, well, he spoke freely in public, and Mushi delivers the first punch, but it's not over yet, Synderen. This one's a best out of 5.
Yeah, and you could tell in this game that these two teams aren't that far apart. The next game could easily go the other way. There were some good plays from both sides, but I feel like Zenith, as far as their game plan went, they simply got outplayed in this. I don't think it was an outpick, but their laning decisions and, well, their individual play, you've got to say Invoker, for example, played really well in mid, but they didn't really get to use it. When the ganks, when the fights came off, the execution just wasn't there. And at the end of the day, having 3/4 of the farm on a quad compared to an Invoker is worth a lot more if you actually get the kills. So...
Oftentimes, we do see teams go offensive tri-lane against Luna. They had a pretty solid lineup to do it with Disruption, followed up by Burrow Strike, and of course, the Lifestealer, who can just tank. And Lone Jura does great in that 1v1 matchup in the offlane. Even if Enigma went there, could have dominated him. Well, Zenith made their trades, and they weren't enough to take this game 1, but stay tuned, guys. We have game 2 coming soon in this best out of 5. You are watching the SEA League, the grand finals, brought to you by quite a few partners. Their logos of which you can see at the top left and top right. More action coming soon. I'm LD, he's Synderen. If you want to follow him, twitter.com/SynderenDota. Stay tuned, guys. More action coming in a moment.